Bro. I go to turn off my game and immediately someone just stands in front of me where my camera was. Whatever, man. Okay, sure, whatever. Alright, welcome back. We are back for another week. And I realize I've got a ton of job quests. I don't know why the blink sensitivity is so high on that. Like, I don't even shut my eyes. I just barely close my eyelids slightly and it goes immediately. Anywho, I have a ton of job quests that I still haven't done. Like, jobs that I've been quickly leveling with roulettes and things like that on the side just to try and get them higher up so I can do more content with them. Scholar's one of these. White Mage still. I don't recall if I finished Bard. I might have. Same Machinist. Dancer, I believe I did finish. Yeah, the Bard I would have. Because Dragoon, Paladin, Sage, all the ones I did role quests in Endwalker with, I would have finished their job quests first. So all those are done. I still have the, like, 70 set for Blue Mage that I didn't bother to do. Machinist and Dancer. Machinist might be done. Dancer is, I believe. But Scholar, White Mage, Dark Knight. At least those three. Maybe a couple of others. Plus, every single job is at level 80 by now, which means I could go finish off the quest lines for, like, all of them. I don't need to wait till they're 90. In fact, it wouldn't be ideal to wait till they're 90, because that would have me playing without their level 70 unlocks for the whole time that I'm leveling them up to 90. So realistically, I could go and, like, finish off the job quest for, like, all of these at some point. Which I haven't. But for today, we are going to hop back in with the Nimian Marines and a couple of our Doink friends. At least I think that's what we're going to be doing. And we are going to finish off the Scholar quests. Depending on how long that takes, maybe I'll do some other stuff, but I don't think there will be time to do 2 full sets of job quests for 2 classes, because I need to do White Mage as well. I finally filled out all of my healers, but I don't have the 70 skills for these 2 yet, so I need to get around to that at some point. I don't think I'll have time for both, though, so I really do need to change that. Let me see really quick. Settings, general... like blink sensitivity, whatever. Gaze, strength, blink, smoothing, blink sensitivity. Except I think the problem is that's as low as it can go, and if I turn it up anymore, it's just going to get worse. Or not. Is it the opposite way? Is that the problem? No. Holy crap. I do. I have blink sensitivity turned down as far as I possibly can. And it's still way too aggressive. Every time my eyelids so much as shift a millimeter in any direction, it blinks. And I have it turned down as far as possible. That's nuts, man. I don't know why that is. Huh. Camera, face tracking, lips animation, normalized, blah, 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 blah. Smart wink. Nope. Look down threshold. Link eye blinks. No, none of that stuff. Auto blink. No, thank you. I'm good with that. Could also have it do like automatic simple expressions and stuff like that since I never handle them myself. I don't know, that might actually... That might work. I'll leave the simple expressions on for today. I'm still just annoyed by the blinking. Constantly, my eyes closing constantly on this avatar, and I have blink sensitivity turned down as far as I possibly can. Just constantly his eyes are shutting. No, simple expressions I can already tell doesn't work. Every tiny little movement causes some weird fucking appearance on my face. Forget that. Blink smoothing a little. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what is up with that. I don't know how I can crank blink sensitivity all the way down to 0 and still my eyes will be wide open and my avatar will just be sitting there like this. I guess this program just doesn't like the way my eyelids sit in my face or something. Thanks for your judgment.
Hey, babe.
Hey, Baron. Hi, Baron. See, I don't get it. Man, makes no sense. Blink sensitivity all the way down to 0. My eyes are still open. My eyelid slightly shifts 1/10 of a fucking millimeter in any direction, and my eyes close aggressively on my avatar. Do I have to just turn, like, auto blink on? So he'll keep his damn eyes open? Did not have internet from Thursday to Monday afternoon. Holy crap. I mean, I can't really wink, but you can't really wink that well with this program anyway, with this avatar at all anyway, so who gives a shit. Yep, I'm just gonna turn auto blink on, because at least it keeps my damn eyes open and stops me from just constantly spending like half of every stream with my eyes closed, even though they're wide open in the real world. Truck drove through the phone lines and just physically ripped them out of your house. What the... Thanks, asshole. It's not like I spend a ton of time online and doing tons of things online. Just, you know, get drunk and fall asleep at the wheel, why don't ya? Good God, people are so fucking dumb, dude. 2 online interviews. Oh, God. Could you not have at least used, like, a cell phone to send a message to the people who are doing the online interviews to let them know what happened? And maybe reschedule? What the hell? Sorry, I'm just reading up some things that some of my, like, idiot friends are posting and all. What is this? End up walking to a McDonald's and using an old laptop to get on the Wi-Fi. Jesus. Like an old laptop. Like 2000s old? God. No, thank you. 45 minutes to turn on. I had to buy food just to give myself a reason for being there. Oh, well. Sitting there eating McDonald's. Green Ninja's broken too, so it was just hanging. Oh my god, man. This is like the absolute worst possible. Some friends are setting up a P9S re-clear and some 10 stuff tonight. I mean, that could be fun. I'm kind of tired of, like, waiting or trying to hold on to my weekly re-clears for the statics that are completely up in the air and no one knows what we're doing with any of them, and just been sitting for the last, like, 2 or 3 weeks. Email anyways. Well. Maybe I'll just join some people for a re-clear, and so I can get some actual P10S prog in, because the whole idea of holding it for Saturday, Sunday last week, and be like, well, let's see if my static wants to try and prog, and see if they want to try and go for a clear. What are not responsive? Probably not like there. Other one is arranging a rebooking of it. Well, you can get one of them. Anyway, yeah, the idea of holding on to it for my static on like Saturday, Sunday, which are the only days my static meets, and being like, let's see if I can keep the 2 chest clear, blah 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 for them, just in case. They probably won't clear. It's the first time they've been in P9S, most of them, but just in case. And then it, like, no one did anything. It completely fell through. Neither of them bothered raiding at all last week, and it's like Sunday night, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do the P9S re-clear, right? Sunday night, yes, I still have Sunday. I still have an hour or 2 on Sunday and all of Monday, and I could probably get it done, but, you know, that much with me against the wall, I'm just like, oh god, I don't care. Just let it go. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get the re-clear last week because I just wasted so much time just sitting around all week long holding on to it for static who doesn't know what they're doing, and nobody's even sure if they're going to keep raiding, and we haven't organized anything, you know? Raid group bitched out last week. Didn't manage to do all of that last part of Pandemonium, at least. Need to re-clear the normal so you can get the gear. I haven't even bothered clearing the normals on, Anabaseos. I haven't even bothered like re-going through and like re-clearing the normals at all, because I look at the gear and the gear is like no better than the crafted set I already have, so I don't know why I would bother. I could kind of use it to gear up alts, but if I really aggressively want to gear up an alt, then I'll craft the crafted set for them, right? You want to get that set even if it's not dyeable. I can see that. I can see going through and clearing the normals for, like, a glam set of the gear. That makes sense, I guess. I just don't care. Like, I'm not gonna hold on to my 2 chest run anymore. The statics are, like, brand new to P9S anyway, which means it's very unlikely we're gonna get the clear in, like, week 1 or whatever. Plus, I don't know if any of them are even bothering to raid right now. Like I said, both of the statics are super up in the air right now, and no one seems to be working to like solidify them, members or schedules for them. So I'm just gonna prog it on my own, I guess, or with friends. And if I can get together with the static at some point to do runs, then maybe they'll get a 1 chest run out of me, and too bad. Gear isn't great, and I have none of the crafted stuff, so it makes sense. I can still make you a crafted set. It ain't that hard. Well, I need to go run some hunt trains, or get you to buy the causality tome stuff for me. But I could totally make you one. It'd only take me like 20 or 30 minutes, maybe, once we have all the items. Alright, Alkazoka, what do you got for me? Vanishing Act.
Yes, as you should arrive at this very instant, it is as though the gods themselves have sent you. Now, a quarter bell ago, I received a missive from Sarito Kurito. An emergency has arisen at the Wanderer's Palace, and he's requested our immediate presence. While the exact nature of this trouble remains unclear, we can scarce ignore his call.
No causality tomes, because I spent them all on trying to get enough gear to get into Anabaseos. No, it also makes sense. Actually, I will end up with more causality tomes now that I think about it. Because, let me get through this conversation.
He awaits us at his usual place. Come, my friend, we haven't a moment to waste.
Yep, new weekly. I need to go run 3 or 4 hunt trains over the next couple days to max out my comedy tomes for the week, which means I'll easily end up with at least 900, no. Yes. 900 and possibly even more causality tomes. Just by chance, and I need things to spend them on anyway, so don't feel like I don't want to have my friends craft a set for me. It just doesn't feel right. I need to spend my causality tomes on shit anyway, because they're just gonna start backing up. Honestly, what I've been spending the causality tomes on the last couple weeks has actually just been like some of the crafting materials, and instead of using them for crafting, I just turn around and sell them on the market because they sell for pretty good, so other people can use them to craft. Like, I've just been wasting them on shit I put up on the market the last couple weeks. Which I could go and craft the pieces out of it, but I just can't be bothered for like putting it on the market to sell for maybe 2 or 3 times what the material is worth. For that, I can't be bothered, but if it's for crafting a setup for a friend, sure.
Alkazoka, Ashran, thank you both for responding so swiftly to my summons.
Looking at the stats for an excuse to say no.
Forgive my brusqueness, but I believe it best if we cut straight to business. I presume that both of you remember the invisible void scent we defeated not too long ago. We could scarce forget such a vile creature. Well, you'll be pleased to hear that I have finished studying its remains and believe a cure may be within my grasp.
No, we're gonna turn them into normal, annoying Lalas instead of adorable doinks. Adorable, terrifying doinks.
But mayhap here is a slight exaggeration.
Oh god, Kiritsu is back and has all the mega throw. Medic! Medic! Oh! There's one of the problems with me turning on auto blink. Is that I can't be like, ow, 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 and shut my eyes when I'm getting bombarded by Kiritsu with mega throws. Tomberries have lost their horror in FF7. They scared the crap out of me. Tomberries should always scare the crap out of you. Doink will never be not terrifying. Like, boom! Max health damage. Oh, man. But yes, Kiritsu, I had to turn on auto blink for my avatar because the program is way too sensitive. I cranked the blink sensitivity down to 0 and still the slightest shift of my eyelids would immediately make him close his eyes. Oh well. Yeah, I don't know what VC Face wanted from me. Like, seriously, I cranked blink sensitivity down to 0, all the way down as far as I possibly could. And if my eyelids so much as slightly shifted, or I slightly turned my face a little bit, my avatar would immediately just shut his eyes. I would have I would go back and look at old VODs and see that, like, for half of the time I was streaming, my eyes were shut while I was just trying to sit there and talk. Can't find an excuse like having spell speed on them or something. Baron, that might not be much of an excuse anyway, because this tier, Anapaseos, is kind of insane. Like, I know you play a red mage, so maybe it would end up being different, but I play a healer. I play a sage healer, which never uses spell speed, ever, because like 90% of a sage's kit would not gain from spell speed. Like, almost everything a sage does, spell speed would be worthless, because almost all of it is instant cast. You pop abilities, right? Like, the only thing I think spell speed actually helps on a sage is maybe Numa and Dosis. I don't think you usually bother hard casting anything else. I mean, if you are hard casting any of your other heals, then you're kind of like you've used up your entire kit already as a sage. Every second spell for a red mage is instant cast. Exactly. So for sage is higher DPS usually. You trade for piety for spell speed. Yeah, but usually, Karitsu, usually I would use neither. Usually they would never tell me to meld or use food for either of those stats. I do understand spell speed is actually higher DPS for a sage, but they almost never tell me to meld or use food for it. But this tier, that's exactly what they're doing. They aren't telling me to meld for spell speed, but they are having me get a couple of best in slot pieces that have more spell speed on them. And they're having me use food that has spell speed on it for some reason this tier. Determination or direct hit. Yeah, determination is what Sage usually melds for. Sage usually melds for crit then determination. A lot of others, even healers, will meld for crit then direct hit, but on Sage, direct hit only affects your offense. For some reason on Sage, direct hit, at least the last time I checked, did not affect their heal potency at all. So that was like wasted. They tell you to meld determination instead on Sage. Yeah, it's not common, but it is a possible build. Yeah. Spell speed apparently comes back every so often. It's like, it's hilarious to me as a sage that they want me to meld for spell speed, though. Given the fact that, like, the only thing in my entire kit that's gonna affect is Dosis, and people are like, yes, exactly. That's the point. More Dosis, more DPS off of our healer. That's what we want. It's like, okay, I guess. Sure. But without determination, even my DPS is doing less damage, so I guess spell speed... I guess more Dosis is outweighing stronger Dosis in this one instance, I suppose. Whatever.
Yeah, cure is a slight exaggeration. What I speak of will only help the spread of the sickness, not reverse all of the effects it has had on our bodies.
Oh, good. So you guys will be able to, like, keep your senses, your own personal minds, and not be deranged, but you will still be doinks. Double Doses. Faster cast can get you to slide cast faster for more uptime during mechanics. Double Doses. Dodecadosis. Dodecadosis? Seriously? Like, if I could get off 12 Dosis casts as fast as one, then yeah, Baron, I'd always meld for spell speed. But the problem is you're still fighting the global cooldown. And in that case, I'm not sure you would never aggressively meld for spell speed. Unlike any class. You would never super go hard into spell speed, because you're still fighting the global cooldown anyway. Even if you can get your cast times down, getting them under. Spell speed lowers global? Didn't feel like it. I've already started building. I'll grant you I haven't gotten the full spell speed, like, best in slot thing going. The full, like, 2.45 whatever that they're trying to get me to do. But it didn't feel like my global cooldown was any faster. 2.5 to 2.42. Okay. Like, huzzah. Dump every other stat and crank as much as you can into spell speed, and you can cast spells less than 0.1 second faster. Shit, I don't remember. Yeah. They're trying to get me into 2.45 in the best in slot, is apparently what it is. I didn't realize it messed with your global cooldown. I thought that was 2.5 always, and that it messed with, like, cast times. Like, hard cast times. I think it also does hard cast times. But if it does spin your global cooldown faster, then I guess it is a little better than I thought. I guess it's worth looking at then. I'm already using the right food for it, but a lot of the pieces I need are gonna need like a lot more tomes, and I also need to be able to clear P11S, and then clear P11S like 20 times to augment stuff, which is gonna take forever, because it's a weekly lockout anyway, even if I can get there and clear it.
Srita Krito, you're far too modest a man. Truly what you speak of is incredible, a miracle even. Alas, it is not to be praised for the progress I've made that I asked you here today. You see, Satoto, one of my comrades who's been assisting me in my experiments, has mysteriously vanished. I'm terribly worried. While the raid could have subsided for most of our hearts, we still retain our Tomberry forms. Were we to wander too far from our home here, any number of organizations would be more than happy to have us hunted down. So I'd ask that you, my two most trusted associates, locate and escort Satoto back to the Wanderer's Palace before it's too late. Of course we'll do it. We can hardly ignore the pleas of one of Nim's foremost scholars. I have an idea of where we could start. Let's check with the grand companies to see if a bounty has been placed on Satoto's head.
You mean like on any Tomberry's head, please?
Bounty? Let's hope it has not yet come to that. Maelstrom Command is in Limsa Laminsa. There we should be able to ask the Hunt Bill Master if any Tomberries have recently been registered.
Like, unless Satoto wears a very specific outfit that's real identifiable, then I think we should just check on any Tomberries. Oh, god damn it. Just trying to click on the Aetheryte game. I don't know, but yeah, if it actually speeds up global cooldown, I didn't realize that. That, I guess, might be more worth it. I mean, not super worth it, but whatever. I still feel like the termination is better, but I guess the game is saying no. Wait, wrong place. I need the aft castle, don't I? Yes. He wanted to talk to the Hunt Bill Master. Not back at the Marauders Guild. I also love that I'm working on like the 60 to 70 quest line and I'm wearing the 89 armor set. It's like, yeah, I really need this quest. But something's locked behind it. I don't even remember what skill is locked behind the 70 here. Good evening to you, sir. I might be of service to you today.
Looking to say, slay a Tomberry.
Tomberry, eh? We currently have only one Tomberry marked for the hunt by the name of Marbury.
Marbury? If I recall correctly, it was marked for the hunt from even before Satoto disappeared. Possibility of there being a mix-up between the two is slim. Seems we must continue our search elsewhere. Captain Lev? Alka? I wasn't aware the two of you knew each other. Hi, Riki. Asha, good to see you again. Think I may have forgotten to say so the other day, but I greatly appreciate your help with my training. You know I'm always happy to help. Don't suppose you come all this way to thank me, though? What brings you two of you here? Searching for an escaped Tomberry and thought it might have been marked for the hunt. Tomberry, you say? I can't promise this is in any way related. A few days back, a disturbance broke out in Vespa Bay. They discovered a stowaway hiding in one of the ferries. Indeed. Witnesses say that a small green blur leapt from between the crates and dashed out of sight as soon as the ship pulled into port. While of a similar size and build to a Lalafell or Kern, they claim it looked far too alien to be either. Thank you, Asha. Sounds like you may have just given us our first lead. After me, we make for the Vesper Bay with all haste. It's in the E. Now that I think about it, her name is Ashat. That's an odd name. I always just called her Riki, but yeah. Since she's a Sunseeker, her name is actually Ashat. Huh. Alkazoka in the Vespa Bay. Oh, you know what? No. It'll be about the same, honestly, but I'll go ahead and sail there. I have to return to the Waking Sands, it looks like. I found bits! Huzzah! Hey look, I dug under my couch cushions, and look what I found. The E! Wait. I'll go. There you are. I just spent so little time here after. Although they spent the whole of ARR and a little bit of Heavensward forcing you to pray return here, that I guess everyone got so sick of it, they're like, yeah, let's not do that again. You barely ever come here now. Good, for a moment I thought I'd lost you. Let's begin by questioning this man here. He appears to be one of the men from the ferry Arshat told us about. You asking if I saw the stowaway? Oh, you bet I did. It wasn't just any stowaway what boarded our ship. I suspect it was one of them fellas, gob, without his mask. Either that or it's a rare beastie you can't find around these here parts. Not that it mattered, mind you. Whatever it was, the brass blades are after it. You best be sure they'll catch it. Indeed. And thank you for all your help, sir. An organization that large is yet to find the stowaway. We've little chance of succeeding in such an endeavor ourselves. Rather than blindly rushing about, our time would be better spent gathering what information we can regarding this incident. I shall go and speak with my acquaintances in Ul'dah. In the meantime, I ask that you return to Cerrito Corrido and inform him of all that we learned. Okay, so that'll be the end of the first quest. Impressive.
There is one item of import that you Nerevar must always keep close. What if John F. Kennedy's head just did that? I mean, no bullet, no sniper, his head just popped all over that car.
Yeah. I mean, it could have happened. It's pretty natural, you know? Nerevar. Dago there. That's right. I can only hope your swift return means they come bearing good news. It's across the sea and is likely now in Thonolin, you say? What could possibly have spurred our friend to do such a thing? Cerrito Corrito, forgive my tardiness. I made a small detour to Old Todd to speak with my associates. Fortunately, they could tell me nothing aside from the fact that the brass blades are looking into who the stowaway might be. I nevertheless ask that they keep an ear to the ground and report to me should they learn more. Thank you, Akazoka. As you suspect, our friend has fled to the vast continent of Aldenard. There's little sense in us conducting any more searches. Judging by the brass blade's inability to find their quarry, should have no need to worry about the hunt or any other institution capturing Satoto for now. Best option is to wait until we know more. I'm inclined to agree. Should I come across any new information, I'll send word to you right away.
That he's regained his person, has his old personality back, and is functionally himself, and yet he still has his shanken knife. Can't give that up. Can't give up the lantern and the shanken knife. I mean, it's not like he has a fairy or a book anyway, so may as well.
Good chance this search will turn into something of a long-term effort. I suggest you rest while you still can.
Besides, Doink will infinitely be stronger than a fairy. Like, why should I give it up for a book or a fairy when I can just Doink for all your health at once?
Truly
What brings
a
you
shrimp.
this way?
You readily expect me to believe a shrimp of all the Lord's creations fried this rice, this delectable dish that I am about to partake in.
Shrimp fried this rice. God, all those Dagoth quotes, man. Like, all those fake Dagoth quotes are the best. So bad.
Seems then Akazoka's last missive somehow failed to reach you. He's uncovered information regarding Satoto's possible whereabouts, and is currently waiting for you to join him at the Marauders Guild in Limsa. You best hurry.
The Dagoth posting so much. It's so stupid, but I love it. At least every time I have to teleport back to Limsa, it's free. I do love how the game always treats this stuff like, yeah, they're gonna be going at pace. Yeah, it'll be fine. Because all this teleporting around and all this nonsense is going to be broken up by, like, you do one quest, and then they have to go out and they have to level again and do this and that and all these other things, and then come back, and then it's going to be fine if we have them teleporting all over the place. Like, no. I'll come back and do them in, like, 20 level bulk nonsense, dude. I don't do quests as I level. That doesn't happen. I'm a streamer. I save it all up and do it in at least a chunk of 10. So I can finish an entire storyline at once. So, nope.
Welcome, my friend. My contacts have recently caught wind of a rumor that the brass blades are once again on the move. Seems they spotted a creature matching the description of the Vesper-based stowaway. Luckily for us, their quarry has fled into the Black Shroud. Jesus, he's going all over the place. Area that's out of their jurisdiction. While there's still much we do not know, at least we now have an idea where to begin. Let's depart for Camp Tranquil.
Or honestly, maybe the developers never even bothered to think about that and just like, fuck it. By this level, they can just spend the money to teleport all over. It's like... Because I'm not going to do anything, like, that'll take longer than just teleporting from Aetheryte to Aetheryte to Aetheryte. Plus, I do have the money for it, but, you know. I'm almost up to 10 million, but you got to keep saving. I mean, I'm only... Shit, what am I? A third? No, that's not a third. It'd be more than a third. 2/5. Yeah. I'm only 2/5 of the way to my stupidly excessive and luxurious golden carriage. So, Mikoshi, I think it is, right? Gotta keep saving up for that dumb golden flute. Tomberry, but instead I got this, so I'm playing it anyway. Thornberry, Nigel Thornberry. God.
As you may well already know, the only way to reach the Black Shroud from Thanalan is to pass through this area. That means whoever, or whatever, the Brass Blades were pursuing entered the forest from here. If our hunch is correct and Satoto is in there, we best hurry. A Tomberry who has seen little of the outside world would likely not last more than a few days on their own.
Oh, huzzah.
Cover more ground in less time, I suggest we split up. I'll take the north while you scour the south. Once we're done, let's meet back here.
Oh, wow, it's actually right here. Huzzah. But super slow. Someone else start streaming? Oh, Luco, what you do? Oh, I want to catch that one, actually. Oh. I should probably bring that up in the background then. I need to keep it kind of quiet, but I did want to catch this. Luco's showing off like some new piece of some new cosplay she's working on. Unfortunately, she's doing it right as I'm streaming too, so I'll have to just leave it up in the background. Banes. Whatever. I'll leave that up. She's still like just getting things set up for her stream. Alright, let's get back to this. Might do not catch sight of Satoto or anything resembling a missing Tomberry. That's fine. Yeah, I still don't even know what skill I'm going for here. Ether Pact. Execute Fey Union with target party member. Oh, it's the one that lets me, like, cover kind of like a paladin, but it's a regen effect. Yeah, it's the one that lets me tag someone. That's not even all that impressive to me. Like, it's important. I wouldn't want to go into any high-end content without having the full kit for a Scholar Unlocked, but in general play, obviously I've never used that because I didn't have it unlocked, but I never felt like I needed to either. Though I don't play Scholar too often, I will admit that. Boom, boom, boom. No missing Tomberries here. A bunch of people in the FC are like, I'm only on for a little while today. Gotta go do Diablo 3 or gotta go do this. Gotta put some materia in your gear last week for the first time ever because you felt like it. Well, if you're doing high-end content, it wouldn't be because you feel like it. But then you're not doing high-end content. You're doing like at-release content, but not the high-end. You're still doing the normals. So you could still just be like, to the materia. I would put materia in even for the normals, but you don't really need to. Wait, is this a black mage Tonberry? Looks like we struck gold. If we skin and sell this thing, we'll guarantee a fortune. 7 hells. Don't go celebrating just yet. We've got to kill it first. Hide's so thick it broke my bloody knife. Alright, time to go kick some ass. Yeah, that'd be weird, a Maki Tonberry. To get blasted. Just step in and immediately Art of War these idiots. Wait, have I even... Oh. Dum da dum dum dum. You saw nothing. You saw nothing at all. I totally didn't forget to summon my creature, which is the entire purpose of the class. You saw nothing. And Maki did turn them into Tomberries to begin with. Yeah, Mach was the one who set it up, but I don't think any of the Mach sorcerers got turned into Tomberries themselves. Kuritsu. No, I obviously do not know the way. Otherwise, I wouldn't be playing this class so wrong. Oh god, twinning. I'm that third guy there. Every single time I have to run twinning, I always go dancer. Because it just doesn't make sense any other way. I love how the white mage is just tossing out benes left and right, as if that's possible. Like, nope. Astro. There you go.
Father, is this where it all ends?
Appears injured. Quickly cast Adloquium upon her that she might be healed. Adlo, really? Here, get shielded. Also have only played that dungeon as a dancer. There is a chance I've played twinning as something other than a dancer. If it's ever come up in a roulette, I may have played it as something other than a dancer. But I would never queue up for twinning itself as anything but dancer. I'm addicted to Valheim. There's nothing I can do to help you with that. I'm a Terraria Starbound Minecraft player who only hasn't played Valheim yet because I don't have it. Like, I can't really help you with that. Throgmorton says plus, apparently. Thanks, Throgmorton.
Thank you, sir. You saved my life. That spell. You wield Nemean magics. Are you perchance Ashran, the adventurer in possession of a soul crystal? Sarito Kurito often speaks of you.
I mean, everything about her screams black mage. I wonder if anyone in Nim might have practiced the black magic. I didn't think so. I know that technically what the Nimian scholars practiced was white magic, but it was like a variant of it, of their own design. I guess it'd be more likely to find a black mage, or at least someone who's practiced the art in Nim, than it would be to find one in Amdapor. But I'd still be surprised if anyone really practiced the art. This purple ass fucking lancer. Yeah.
Thank the gods. You're safe. After my search of the northern reaches turned up nothing, I returned to Camp Tranquil to wait for you. When you didn't appear, I began to grow worried and came looking for you. Good thing I did, too, bloody poachers. But how rude of me. Nearly forgot to introduce myself. Hello, Satoto. I am Alka Zolka, Royal Marine and Marauder. My friend and I have been searching for you. My lady, if I may be so bold as to say so, your radiance, it is blinding. Isn't she beautiful?
Okie dokie, Alka. Oh, what a love story. I'm pretty sure she is a he. She, how did you know? The real question is, how did the poachers know? Because the only reason I knew it was a she is because the poachers said her.
It's obvious, isn't it? Her glowing skin, her comely face. She's clearly a lovely young woman.
Okay, Alka has officially lost his mind.
Now, Satoto, what prompted you to leave Bronze Lake so abruptly?
Mikote fucking what? Pose? Makes that so much better. Yeah, the fucking like, huh?
As you're likely already aware, Sarito Kurito saved us. On the outside we remain as tomberries, he has purged our hearts of the rancor. And that is why I left. Something I must take care of now that my mind is once again my own.
I wonder if she could have been practicing black magic while she was under the Rancor. That'd be weird. If, like, you've been asleep for, like, 5,000 years and suddenly wake up and you have a whole new skill set that apparently you learned while you were under mind control or under, like, delusions of rage and all that. As a Vera, it's just much more understated. Oh. I've never seen the Vera's, like, surprise emote before. At least not that I know of. Maybe I should get around to making those alts that I've been holding back on so I could look at some of these goofy things they can do. I have 2 alts, I think, that I want to make. They just kind of step back and lean forward a bit. Seems boring. Maybe one of these days I will go ahead and make those alts. I want to make at least 2 alts. Probably 3. Because I want to make one for each, like, separate continent. Since data center travel's a thing, but, like... I don't even know what to call it. Like, continent travel is not a thing. Female Vera emotes are usually quite understated. Oh god, that's right. I might need to make a male one as well so I can take a look at some of his goofy ones. Sick. She's alive! Sorry, Luco's streaming. I'm just hanging out with her because she's showing off cosplay stuff today.
What, pray tell, is that?
Yep.
Do I not have the... I should be in the right one.
God. Seriously? Yup.
Oh, man. 1,500 years ago, back when Nim was still at its peak...
Oh, 1,500, not 5,000.
Oh, yeah, that was much later. Calamity. My father was a scholar and a Royal Marine. He was dispatched upon a secret and incredibly dangerous mission to infiltrate Amdapor.
See, that was the weirdest part, too. The fact that, like, Amdapor white magic, Mock black magic, and Nim is almost like this group of gray mages in the middle, but they absolutely practiced white magic. Like, there's no denying what they practiced was white magic. It was just different from Amdapor's. But they worked as, like, this group in the middle trying to, like, keep an eye on both of them. Although I guess Nim didn't really contribute to the calamity. Technically, they must have. Using magic in any way, shape, or form would have sort of contributed to that calamity, but I don't think Nim, like, really contributed to that calamity at all. They seem very reserved, and then I don't know why Mock bothered to, like, try and wipe them out anyway. I guess if they had people on missions to infiltrate Amdapor, they probably had people on missions to infiltrate Mock too, to, like, again, keep an eye on both of them and try and keep them from going too far. And maybe Mock just decided, yeah, we're not having that.
The day he left was the last time I ever saw him. I suspect the reason he never returned was because he was discovered and apprehended by the Amdapori. So you came here, to the place the ancient nation once stood. You do realize that regardless of whether he survived or not, your father, he...
I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. I understand they've been tomberries for 1,500 years, but have you forgotten what the Amdapori did in the end there? They started, like, summoning statues and infusing souls into them and stuff like that. if they caught her father as, like, a prisoner, there's a chance he may be in a stone statue somewhere. That's possible. Oh, she does have toe beans. Sorry, I keep talking about it, but here, let me go ahead and it's probably really stupid for like retention and getting new viewers and stuff, but I don't care. That's the person I'm like hanging out in her chat and checking out her new cosplay stuff. Because she's a member of my FC and a friend, so I'm not usually huge into cosplay, but hers are always fun. I wonder if we really will find, like, her father still alive in some sense, like, in a stone statue or a living statue or whatever. It'd be interesting. God, look up. This is so bad. Hello. Beans, tails, and ears. She's almost a full-on cat girl now. Anyway.
I know. I'm under no illusions that he might still be alive. Even if he somehow escaped Amdapor, unlike those of us sealed away in the tower, the passage of time would have eventually robbed him of his life. I'm only looking to find something that reminds me of him. A keepsake, if you will. Sounds as though you loved your father a great deal. Alka's crying his eyes out. Very well, if this means that much to you, we, the Royal Marines, shall volunteer to aid you in your search. Right, Ash?
Well, I mean, I'm not sending Alka off without a healer, so yeah, sure, let's do it.
2 of you would really do that for me? Thank you. Thank you so very much. Now, let us return to Camp Tranquil. There we can discuss how to proceed.
Ooh, Shadow Wolf mount came through. Oh, nice. No, I used to raid doesn't play 14 anymore. Oh, poor Kara. Let me respond. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing static wise right now. He was asking for someone who could fill in a static or whatever or even join one. Oh yeah, looking for a static that has seen P9 at. Yeah, like I said, both the statics are super up in the air. A handful of people are talking about not coming back this turn, and like at the very least, the Sunday static should have been raiding this last Sunday, but like no one said anything. No one asked if we were going to do anything. No one set anything up. Welcome back, Baron. I have observed and followed. I've seen the toe beans. FC static. I love how Mello's constantly like, yeah, let's do FC static as someone who doesn't raid and her boyfriend doesn't raid and they hate it. Oh my god. No wonder Mello's like that then. God.
Before we begin searching for a memento of Satoto's father, in earnest, I must go to Bronze Lake to inform Sarito Kurito we have found his dear comrade, and that she is safe. Speaking of which, Satoto, you must promise me you'll never again do anything so reckless as wandering a foreign land alone. Rome is a dangerous place, doubly so for someone with your affliction. Very well. If it really means that much to you, I shall make that promise. Good. That's all that I ask.
He's like constantly fawning over her and like can barely speak around her. It's like tiny Tomberry girl, and he's head over heels in love already.
Ask that you look after Satoto and see that she gets some rest, that she might recuperate from her ordeal. We shall make for the lost city upon her full recovery.
In loving memory. I'm still wondering about Luco's Medion cosplay. She ran into some trouble with the person who was making the little Talon boots for her, I think. So that's a little up in the air at the moment, I think. Oh, she's talking about now. She hasn't started at all. Oof.
Satoto, you appear to be doing much better. Even your complexion has returned to normal.
Huh? Like, she's green.
Indeed. I too noticed that my skin once again glows a healthy shade of green.
Freaking Tomberry Lalas.
Now that Satoto is recovered, our search can begin. Ere we depart, let us quickly review what we know.
I don't need to... Damn it, game.
Satoto's father was a scholar in the Royal Marines who had been dispatched on a mission to infiltrate Amdapor. He was returned with a cure to the disease that threatened to engulf Nim, only he never did.
Oh, so her father was sent out to Amdapor after the disease was already starting to spread. Well, then he may be a Tonberry. Like, her father may have caught the disease before he went out on his mission. He may be a Tonberry.
I'm almost certain he was caught, captured, and then killed by the Amdapori. Even if that was not the case, after 1,500 years, we can safely assume he's no longer alive. I hold out hope, however, that some of his belongings remain. The Amdapori were extremely dedicated to expanding their knowledge of healing magic. Anything in a scholar's possession would have been of incredible value to them. Had your father been captured, they would have confiscated all that he had. He would then likely have been transported to a remote and secure location for interrogation. That means chances of finding anything that once belonged to him will be highest in Amdapor Keep.
Yeah.
Okay, not only are you terribly kind, but you're keen of mind as well.
Oh, God. I do not need to see this flirtation going on, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Now in the final years of the War of the Magi, Amdapor was demolished by the Maquis. It was overrun with a myriad of void-sent beasts that linger to this day.
You know, every time they're talking about the the Black Mages of Mach and the phrase Maquis comes up. I know that from somewhere. The Maquis. Wait, that's Deep Space Nine, I think. Star Trek Deep Space Nine. The Maquis. I'm sure it's spelt differently, but every time I have to say that word, it reminds me. I believe that's Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I think that's the group of, like, human colonists that are in the... that were in, like, the middle of this zone that was being disputed between two races, and they kind of got caught up in it, and their land was getting taken away from them and all this nonsense, so they decided to start being, like, guerrilla fighters. I think that's the Maquis. They started, like, violating conventions and peace and all that nonsense to, like, do guerrilla strikes on the enemy.
As we forge forward, you must be sure to keep your wits about you. Amdapor Keep is fraught with dangers, both known and unknown.
I love Mello. Lucas is talking about, like... Lucas just talking about, like, passing through Mello's town and seeing her while she was en route to someplace else, and Mello's like, we went on a date! Yep! Alright, into Amdapor Keep. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe I'll just do some more raiding with JoJo. The other day I saw JoJo was putting together a group to go into, was that P9S or was that one of the EXs? I don't remember exactly what it was. JoJo had a group up on, like, Party Finder going into some content, so I just immediately joined it and just went in with him. It was some content that I knew how to do. I don't remember what it was exactly.
You finally made it. Ash, if you're ready, please lead the way.
Yep, I've been through this dungeon countless times, so whatever instanced version nonsense you put up for me, I'm sure I can handle. Welcome to Amdapor.
Presence chamber. From here, we must tread with caution. We know not what dangers lurk in the shadows. Whatever happens, I shall not leave this place without something to remember my father by.
I probably don't need this cloth satchel. Undoubtedly, whatever we're looking for is going to be at the end of this dungeon instance, not the beginning. But since I'm here and I'm not causing any other players to slow down and have to deal with my nonsense, I'm going to go ahead and have fun and, like, take my time exploring. Broil Mage! I'm a Broil Mage! It doesn't quite have the same sing as Glare Mage, but still. You know what? Let's grab 3 so that I can make this a DPS gain. Oh, but Alka-Zolka's not showing up on my party list. God damn it, I hate this whole NPC thing that you have to... Having to deal with NPCs when you're the healer of the group is so annoying. Especially when they won't move. They just stood in that bad breath and took it on the face. Here, I'll focus target Alka-Zolka. At least that way I can keep track of him. They just stood in the bad breath. You know what? You get to deal with the debuffs then. If you're that stupid, you deal with the debuffs. If you're gonna go make out with a frickin' Marlboro, then you can deal with those.
Pages are in tatters. Perhaps we'll have better luck in the next one we find.
Oh, you know what? It may not be too bad dealing with this as a healer. Let me see if the fairy is... Oh god, she's not. Oh my god. Because he's not technically part of my party, Celine is basically worthless right now because she refuses to heal him. Why did they design it this way? Why? Why? Why did the developers design it this way? That they would have you instance in with NPC characters as part of your party, and like you're the healer, but they're not in your party list, and most of your auto heal mechanics won't work because they're not technically part of your party. Why? This is like the worst possible way you could set it up. Interrogation: the Nemean spy we apprehended is scheduled to soon take place at the Moot Hall. Healing powers his people wield are not like to those of white magic. Regardless of what it takes, we must find a way to determine the mysterious source of his power. Suspect his robes are crucial to his spellcasting, and no doubt hold some of the answers. For now, however, we'll be sealing them away in one of our mana idols. This log, I think it's about my late father. Yep, no doubt. So Nim technically had to be using white magic. Because it's all healing magic and... Oh, but wait. Unaspected. It's all unaspected. None of it bears any aspect whatsoever. None of my abilities. Now that I think about it, they weren't using white magic. But then what were they using? Because they still had to be drawing on some source of magic. But if it's all unaspected, then what were they using? See, that does make more sense, actually. Like, I don't know what their source of magic was. Maybe they said it earlier, and since I haven't played Scholar in like 6 months, I've just forgotten the lore. But they had to be using some source of magic, so that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I don't know what that is then, because the fairies aren't a source of magic. The fairies were like a representation of their magic. It's not like they drew their energy from fairies or anything. I don't know where they were drawing it from, but in the grand scheme of this like 3 pillars sort of thing they have going with Mach Amdapor and Nim, it does make a lot more sense, right? That Nim is like these gray mages in the middle that are just trying to keep everything under control. So they're drawing from some sort of source of magic that I guess was not causing the calamity to become worse, because they're drawing from some sort of unaspected magic. Again, I don't know what that is though. What could possibly be the source of unaspected magic that they're using? Because pretty much all magic has aspect of some kind or other. And, you know, 3 of them are astral and 3 of them are umbral. So... Okay, this is gonna kill me. I need to look this up now. I may be spoiling myself right now. That may be it. It may reveal it later on, but it may have revealed it previously, and I haven't played it in so long that I have no idea. Green Death, 7th Umbral. This is just a general... look at Nim. This doesn't talk about their magic specifically. This tries to affect the way made itself. Super weapon, blah blah blah. Venture will be able to aid the historians who flock to the notions of Ashan was once its patron deity? Really? Huh. That's interesting. Ashan, I believe, is the Traveler, one of the ones that we haven't really seen yet. No, yeah. Oh, no. Associated with Ashan the Wanderer. Magic from a lore standpoint. What is white magic? I don't need to know that. Where do red mages come from? What is the source? No. Scholars. Okay, do scholars use white magic? Whatever. No. Title says, what kind of magic do scholars wield? They depend on the magic of elemental spirits and use their powers to grant succor and purify various taints. Probably could have phrased that better, buddy. Their magic is similar, but it just seems that scholar magic pales in comparison from what I've seen to true white magic, like in Lost Amdapor. Hard. Could it be that scholar magic was a developing magic before the plague hit? No lore books ready, but I don't think they do. After all, they deal unaspected damage, which suggests non-elemental. They wield arcane magics, whatever that might mean. Back in the day, these three cities each had a different magical art. Amdapor had white, Mok had black, and Nim had arcane, whatever that means. And they were all at war. Pretty informative. Use a type of spellcasting called Arcanima. Well, that's just arcanists in general, which is distinct from both white and black. Really? It still has to draw on ether, though. Arcanima may be distinct from white and black, but it still has to draw on ether, so it has to draw from somewhere. Whether Arcanima is a new form of magic the Nimians used or were developing, I don't believe so. Summoning was first invented by the Allagans. Yeah, which means Arcanima must date back at least to the Allagans, because they're the ones who created summoners. What are they talking about? Also, let me take this and send it over here. I want to still be able to see the chat while I'm reading up on this lore dive. Also, I should probably bring it up so you guys can check it out too, if you're at all interested, or so at least you don't think I'm just staring at the screen doing nothing. There. That's what I'm looking at. It's basically just the forums and people talking about it. There's an informative link about it. Oh, but it's a role player's link. I don't know. This is a role player's link. This is like non-Arcanist art and how they use their magic. Roots of art. Okay. Lore panels, Yamitra. Okay, so this is in-game stuff mostly. Trace back the esoteric calculations practiced by the people of the South Sea Isles. In their efforts to express the nature of ether in mathematical terms, they gave rise to the exacting science that we practice today. These definitive formulas... I should probably move around in-game. Oh, Jojo wasn't trying to say that to me. He was saying it to someone else. Anyway. Just need to move around in game a little so it doesn't, like, AFK me out. Spin formulas are represented by arcane geometries. Yeah, I know all of this. Manipulate etheric energy and produce specific effects. The ability to shape this energy also allows practitioners to manifest arcane entities. I know all of that. Every time you're talking about Arcanima, it seems like they just talk about it being arcane. They don't really talk about where it draws from. Does it draw from, like, all the aspects? Because most arcane energy is aspected. Modern-day Arcanima stems from the remnants of Nimian scholars who lived in and around Vilbrand roughly 1,600 years ago, beginning sometime in the years of a horrible plague, tactile magi, blah, blah, blah. Follow up on a question from the stream earlier. The taxonomy that fairies fall into. Is there an origin on how they become fairies of scholars? Were they fairies and then bound to scholars? Well, no. No. The fairies that we use as scholars are not fairies like the fairies of Ilmeg in any way, shape, or form. The fairies we use as scholars are arcane constructs. That much has been very clarified. They're more like Carbuncle than they are Titania. Yes, the second one. Were they fairies then bound to scholars as scholars create them? Yeah, see the second one. Fairies again. While they fall under the taxonomy of elementals, they are actually beings that were created. They did not exist before. The scholar would take the energies and elementals from around them and would basically create these beings that were made of the elements. Oh. Is what the designer's trying to say there is that people who use Arcanima draw upon, like, the power of elementals that exist in the world around them? Kind of like the elementals in Gridania, just like elemental spirit beings that sort of exist in the world rather than specifically aspected arcane energy? That'd be really disturbing if they were pixies from the first. Yeah, they're not. Scholars, in turn, are descendant from an even more ancient form of magic called summoning, a famed practice of ancient Alleg. Yes. I already know that. So are the scholars not contributing to the calamity by, like, drawing on the power of elemental spirit beings that already existed in the world? Pixies over there are born of the souls of dead children. Oh. Really? I wonder if that was covered in MSQ or if that's covered in some side thing, because I don't remember them talking about that. I do recall that being like an old lore thing about pixies in the real world fables, like in our fables of pixies. Like in some of them, the souls of dead children become fairies and pixies and things like that. Like all sorts of fae, actually. I think the souls of dead children become like fairies and pixies and spriggans and all sorts of things like that. Boggarts? Not boglins, definitely not boglins. Boggarts, I think they're called. Stuff like that, like all sorts of fae. Beings of ether born from the souls of departed children that have absorbed the ambient ether of Titania, the king of the pixies. Oh. I didn't realize they had incorporated, like, real world folk story versions of pixies' origins into Final Fantasy XIV, but it makes sense. History enrolled the summoner. We may never forget the tragedy that befell unfortunate Tristan. Oh yeah, Ymitra. Who harnesses the energy of the primals and reshapes it into a biddable avatar. Yeah. So the more I'm looking at this, the more it seems like instead of drawing upon the raw ether of the world, the way that white and black magic did, thus, like, hastening the calamity, it seems like Nim and Alleg before them, though I don't think Alleg did this because they desperately wanted to protect the world from calamity. I think Nim continued this practice because they were trying not to push the world to its brink the way that the white and black mages were. But it seems like what they're doing is, like, drawing upon etheric spirits that already exist in the world to fuel their power. Like, for summoners, it's primals. It draws upon, like, the ether that's created in the world from the existence of primals, which does come from, like, the raw ether of the world, as well as the raw ether from crystals, which, again, is just more raw ether from the world. But once it exists, it's not like it's going to just go back to nothing. So they're drawing upon the power of primal. Well, they would have been fueling a calamity then in Alleg, because they were actively creating primals, which took a lot of ether, and then they were using those primals as a power source. But Nim, it feels like Nim 7 remake while I was offline, but my PS5 was like, no. God, it's so annoying. As known as Eggy, only those who are present at the defeat of a primal and have captured its savage essence are able to manifest such etheric entities. It almost sounds like summoning is using, but it's not. I know it's not, because I know how it happens. Breath of the Wild instead. No, that's a good one. Reach its peak, blah blah blah, eventually, blah 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 blah. Possible spoiler. While the official history credits the Allegans with the creation of summoning, certain aspects of the MSQ heavily suggest that the Asians may have taught the Allegans. That's not possible. That's not certain aspects. It's directly stated. This may be a very old post, Because by the point we're at now in the game, it's been directly stated that the Alligans taught, or that the Asians taught the Alligans. They were trying to create calamities, so they were teaching people how to summon. Alligans created summoning and enslaved the essence, defeated primals to their will. 3,000 years later, using a derivative form of summoning, Nimians create and bond with an elemental-like creature called a Fae to bolster their arcanima. Oh wait, so Fae do exist in the source? See, this part feels like this is the writer jumping to conclusions, because they immediately say they create and bond with an elemental-like creature called a Fae, but at no point have I heard that Fae legitimately exist in the source, like fairies and things like that. We haven't seen that be the case. They exist in the first, but we haven't seen them in the source. I guess we've seen creatures that could be considered Fae in the source, not fairies specifically, but... Summon or commune with these Fae, but they're not. Again, see, this feels like the person jumped to sudden conclusions without actual basis here. The ability to summon or commune with these Fae, but they're not. The fairies that the scholars summon are not Fae in any way, shape, or form. The fairies that the scholars summon are arcane constructs like Carbuncle, created from the vision of the scholars of like what they believe to embody the source of like healing energy, so they created fairies. Thought the fairies were yeah, see, yeah, the fairies are constructs. This is not summoning or communing with Fae in any way, shape, or form. Fairies are constructs, just like Carbuncle or the Eggies. They are constructs created from the beliefs of the summoners. Right? Like, we even have the ability to glamour our fairies now. And Thubergeim, I went and I did that off stream, which is a little unfortunate. Maybe I should have saved it for this stream so I could have done it with you guys. But Thubergeim, back at the Arcanist Guild, when I went and I did the quick little quest that unlocked fairy glamoring, specifically talks about the fact that fairies are just an arcane construct. Fairies are just an arcane construct, like any other arcane construct we create, which is exactly why we can glamour our fairy not only to look like Selene, which I've done, but you can also glamour your fairy to look like a Carbuncle, because it's just an arcane construct. You can, as long as you keep the idea of this is a construct designed to help heal my allies in your head, you can basically shape it to look like whatever you want. Yeah, this part here, I'm not gonna read this part here, because this part here is not like in-game lore. This is the writer like jumping to conclusions and assumptions based on what they think is right. Sansi wrote, I don't know. No, I'm not reading anything Sansi wrote. Anonymous Arcanist, Lodestone. Here's Lodestone stuff. Adepts of the art of Arcanum derive their might from symbols of power born of geometric techniques hailing from across the southern seas. Held within occult grimoires, these symbols lend shape to the Arcanist's ether. Oh, well, there you go. There's the answer right there. These symbols lend shape to the Arcanist's ether. So they're not drawing on the world at all. How can Arcanists and summoners and scholars be possibly as powerful as they can grow to be if they're not drawing on the ether of the world at all? Because one of the driving factors in a lot of etheric lore in game is the idea that someone who draws upon only their own personal reserve of ether just can't be as strong as other people, which is why the red mages designed all these mechanics to help them sort of like balance their ether and their physical abilities and balance their own personal ether. Yeah, but red mages have specifically built into their lore like all of these practices and teachings that they've developed to help like amplify their own ether so that they don't have to draw on the ether of the world around them. I guess... No, you know what? I guess current era black mages don't draw on... Well, no. current era black mages might still draw on the ether of the world around them. Current era thaumaturges in lore don't draw on the ether of the world around them either. They use their personal ether too. Maybe the construct helps with that. It is possible. It is possible that the reason why they summon carbuncles, eggies, or fairies is to, like, help them manage their own ether pool. That might be the case. Though, yeah, now that I think about it, maybe they're not. Maybe this is why it seems like old era, Allegan era summoners and Mach and Amdapor era white and black mages are like these huge fucking legends who accomplished amazing things that we can never do these days. Is that maybe no one really draws upon the ether of the world to fuel their stuff as much anymore? I do think current era black mages, I do believe, are still using the ether of the world around them as well as their own internal ether. I think white mages are as well? I don't know. I think white mages are deriving their power from the elementals. I don't know if that drains from the world or if the elementals are like these spirits that already exist, and so you're just sort of using their personal pool of ether. But maybe that's why we don't seem to do the huge, insane shit that old black mages and white mages got up to. Is because we just don't pull from the world's ether like the way they did. So maybe that's it. But at least this finally answered my question. The reason why Nimian magic, except for the limit break, I guess, yeah. The reason why Nimian magic can be like, well, it didn't fuel the calamity the way the white and black magic did back then, and they were in the middle as like these gray mages trying to maintain some amount of like ceasefire and like trying to protect the world or whatever, right? And black mage limit break is 100% Mock speaking through time, and Mock says burn pretty much. Is because even back then, even back when the white and black mages were creating freaking giant statues filled with souls, constructs to wage war, and creating gargantuan meteor storms to blast through the white mage castles and shit like that, Nim was off to the side using only their own personal internal pools of ether, right? And not drawing from the world around them. I guess that would make sense. I do think it has actually come up a couple of times in game. I can't recall exactly where, because I was thinking about the Thaumaturge questline, and that one brother who does not have a good pool of ether, a reserve of ether of his own, and that's why the other Thaumaturges like don't want to teach him, because it's like it'd be too dangerous for him to become a Thaumaturge. And that's the sort of thing I'm thinking of, but at no point during that questline do I think anyone told him he should try being an Arcanist instead. But so I don't know where exactly I'm pulling this from. I may be pulling this out of my ass, or it may be from other parts in game that I've seen and just kind of forgotten about. But I do believe it has come up a couple of times in game where like conjurers or thaumaturges or people who are doing... Would they suggest that though? Yeah, see, they wouldn't suggest that. They wouldn't have bothered to suggest that. And not even just because they don't want him to practice anything other than thaumaturgy or they're greedy or anything like that, but because it didn't feel like the guys at the Thaumaturge Guild even really understood or knew much about arcanistry. So, you know, guilds seem to think about other magic. Yeah. Like, I don't even think they know much about arcanistry or if it's even an option. So I know it didn't come from there. But I get this feeling in my gut, like I've seen in a couple places in game, where people who are not cutting it as like conjurers, thaumaturges, black mages, white mages, things like that, and seen like other characters recommend that they should take up arcanistry instead. I can't recall where that's from. Like I said, I may just be pulling that out of my ass. I can't recall exactly where, but I feel like I've seen that in game at least a couple of times. where people recommend doing arcanistry instead of other magics because it's like easier for people with less ether to do that kind of magic. Like the arcane geometries and the constructs and things like that just make it easier to sort of wield arcanistry than it is to wield other magics. Tataru does that right and somehow makes an eternal carbuncle. Yeah. I did like the original section with Tataru taking up arcanistry where she was just like terrible at it and her carbuncle was a coward and running away and stuff. And it's like, you know. Nimian summoning really is wrought from summoning techniques. I don't care. The gist is that you're essentially using the magic of mathematics. No. Well, yes. You are essentially using mathematics. No. You're essentially using geometry, which is a form of mathematics, but specifically geometry to channel your own ether. Geometry specifically, the inks used to draw the geometries are metallic in nature that are conductive to the flow of ether. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Every time you're creating an Arcanist Grimoire, you're creating like an ethereally infused metallic ink to create the book. That's something they do. So they are drawing from the world to some degree as well, I think. Or maybe the book draws from the wielder. Are the Arcanist Grimoires just like batteries that like a mechanist might use or a machinist might use or something kinda? Oh, I got zoned out. Oh well. I was just thinking I should tab over and move around a little bit and I got kicked out. Oh well, who cares? I think the Arcanist Grimoires are basically batteries. I think as you like build up your own internal reserve of ether over time, just by like eating food and drinking and sleeping and shit like that, just like generally taking in ether from the world around you, but not aggressively, not the way, like I said, black mages and white mages wielded it back in the day, just sort of slowly building it up over time. I think the Arcanist Grimoire might work as a battery. Like it draws ether out of the person who's wielding it into the etherically charged like metallic inks in the book itself, and that would help. That would absolutely help. So that when the alchemist goes to wield their magics, they're like drawing off the reserves in the battery that is their book, and then they're also drawing off the reserves in their own body rather than the world around them. I think we have our answer, guys. They use their own personal reserves of ether rather than the ether of the world around them, as well as whatever they've like stored over time in the Arcanist grimoires that they carry with them. That just sort of like leeches small amounts of energy off of them, like day by day at any point in time. All right. Now that I've finished an hour-long deep lore dive into freaking magic, let's get back in here and actually do the game. Wednesday and Friday, 7 to 10 Pacific. Those are off days. It means that I wouldn't have to waste like stream time on raiding anymore, which could be nice. But I often like to like not even bring up Final Fantasy XIV on my off days and just kind of like rest and relax and stuff. Carbuncles are 100% magic from outside the body. They are? They're made from gems. Huh. Self-same symbols to unlock the latent power contained within gemstones. And I guess that's the way they explain away the fact that they are gem, like, themed. Critical strikes. All attacks are dealing critical damage. Hey, not bad. What does Satoto even do? Summon forth. Yeah, I guess that wouldn't really be aggravating a calamity in the world too much. Because you're taking gems that already exist, which is already kind of like coalesced ether, actually quite in the same way that materia is. Gems are already like coalesced ether in the world, so it's not like you're really pushing the world's ether to the brink. You're just taking something that's already kind of there. And then even if it would have like fed into the calamity, arcanists don't need it constantly. My understanding is I think the arcanist would use the gemstone like once when they're first creating their carbuncle, and then like never need to take another gemstone again. So, you know, a couple of little carbuncles for each arcanist is probably not going to destroy the world's etheric balance. My understanding was both Mach and Amdapor were like drawing directly from the ether of the world itself, and they were both drawing on it very heavily and abusing it very badly too. Like some of the weird experiments and shit they were getting up to was like really warping the ether that they were using as well. So I think just the average person drawing like the average amount of ether that people almost normally do just by nature of living from the world, and an arcanist, I wonder if you could make a materia construct. I mean, probably. It is basically ether. Remember, materia comes from the life stream, and that's exactly the concept that they developed for ether here. Everything that exists based on ether. Our souls are made of ether. Our physical bodies are made of ether. It's not exactly the same as Lifestream, but it's a very similar concept. So if we did have something like arcane geometries over in FF7, then I believe you absolutely could create a construct out of materia. In fact, you already do. You already do make constructs out of materia, Baron. They're summoning materia. They're temporary constructs, I'll grant you, but you're absolutely creating a construct out of ether. I guess the fact that they're temporary is also why the summoning materia doesn't break every single time you use it, or get dissolved like every time you use it. It comes back into existence after the summon disappears or whatever. Maybe. I don't know. But basically that's what summoning probably is in FF7, is like you're creating a construct out of materia. Or at least it's similar enough. Honestly, I don't think they were thinking of arcane geometries when they made FF7 back in 98. No, 97. Came out in America in 98. But that's basically what summoning materia does anyway. Oh look, there's another mana idol. So that's what they were talking about, was putting his clothing, which they thought helped fuel his magic, into one of their mana idols. You know, I should probably be using my chain stratagem. It's just wasted time. I love the fact that the entire purpose of my class, which is this fairy here that can heal, is utterly worthless. Because of the way they put Alcazolca in my party. So dumb. I'm gonna jot something down in my notes. Boom, 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 boom. What is Luco doing now? I can close these. Don't need them. Is it gonna load at all? Or is she still just sitting? No, they're doing stuff in-game together. Oh my god, a bunch of the people in my FC just bought the Shadow Wolf. Oh, God. A bunch of people in my FC apparently bought the Shadow Wolf. From the Mog Station. Oh, well. I, on the other hand, actually do have a pretty good Blue Mage setup, so I may get together with a group and go, like, farm some stuff. Some of the mounts. I don't think you can get a Shadow Wolf, but you can get something kind of like that, I think, from one of the Blue Mage runs. Foresight defense is increased. Wait, am I? Okay, good. It is working on him. For a second there, I thought it didn't work on him. I thought I clicked him and casted it, and it only casted on me, because that sometimes happens. Doge. Wednesday and Friday, 7 to 10 PST. I'll let JoJo know that I'm at least willing to, like, fill for his static this week. At least for this week, if not longer, while I sort of figure out what's going on with my static. I do know I don't want to be raiding constantly all the time. I like having some days off or days that I can play other games and stuff like that. But while my other static is, like, completely just dead at the moment and not really doing anything, I could fill for JoJo's for at least, like, a week or two. Plus, that's a bit later. It's, 7 to 10? Oh, they said PST. Would that be 6 PDT? I always fucking forget. PDT is to give you more daylight, so it goes forward an hour. No. Yeah, forward an hour, I think. I should probably be paying attention. Oh, god damn it. I don't even have recitation. Great. Let me go ahead and put crits on him, at least. You know what? I need to start sending these thunders further away, because he's only targeting me with them, and I'm a ranged caster, so I need to send these far away where they're not going to hurt anyone. God damn it! Are you kidding me? Satoto just stood there taking thunder hit after thunder hit after thunder hit and not stepping one fucking millimeter any direction to get out of the Thunderball. It's so fucking stupid. Satoto and Alcazolco are the dumbest they could possibly be in this. I don't know why their AI is so fucking dumb in this. That they stand in Marlboro breath attacks and fucking stand still in these big, huge attacks that are gonna kill them. And I can only focus target one of them. And neither of them is in my party, so Celine's doing nothing. Every single time they give you these half-ass NPC party members, it is the worst designed garbage in this game, and I don't know why they never fixed that. I'm not even gonna bother reading the tome this time, just go. No, you know what? I want all 3 of these. Come on. There we go. There you go, Alka. Just use lustrates and shit on him. Like, I'm done trying to play this slow. From now on, everyone gets got. Pull everything I can. Wall to wall pull for Alka. Worst healer ever. And this boss, as soon as I pull him, I need to step the fuck away from my party. Like, get the fuck away from them. Because if I drop a single... Oh, they're gonna force me to... They're gonna force me to read the book, aren't they? If I drop a single, lightning pool next to them, they're just gonna stand there and die like idiots. Do they really force you to read the tome? Skip. Is that enough? Damn, I don't have expedient either. Or was it this cloth satchel I was supposed to open? I didn't even look at what this said. The stench, it's worse than that of spoiled milk, blah, blah, blah. Oh my god, did they make you use all of them? No, because I didn't do this crate the previous time. I'm like certain I didn't open that crate previously. Is this the tome? Yeah, this is the one that they needed that talks about her father. There we go. Finally. Pull them all. Pull everything. Wall to wall pull this shit. Alka can handle it. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure Alka's fine. You too, come on. Back here. If Alka can't keep this shit going for a couple of seconds, then he doesn't deserve to be a tank. Oh, he dropped a treasure coffer. I didn't even check that last time. Huh. Full to the brim with treasure. Cool, I don't care. It's full to the brim with treasure that's only quest treasure. It's not real. This isn't what we're looking for. Let us leave it. See? Fake ass treasure chest. Alright, let's go, guys. Okay, there's no more. I don't want to get too close and pull him. Alkazoka the Slayer. Good for you. I wonder if I have a... Okay. No? Interesting. What do I have that set to then? It'd be targeting, wouldn't it? Alt-T. The target of your current target. Oh, target's target. I do have that set. Alt-T's kind of a pain. Control-T's kind of a pain too, though. Shit, what do I want to set that to? Both of those kind of suck. Enemies farthest to near this. Right click to clear. I don't want anything on shift tab. I think I have Steam set to that. The function keys and alts. Hmm. Nearest enemy is not a great one there anyway. Okay, let's put that to Alt T. And we'll put target to Shift T because I need that one more often. No. I don't think I'll do normal raid. I kind of like to do normal raid with them, but I'm in the middle of something at the moment, so... So many broken mana. Great gods, that beast over there. There we go. At least now I can get him to target me over here. Why is Satoto coming closer to me? Why are you being stupid, Satoto? See, I would normally send my fairy in there like that, but there's no point to it. She's not going to heal him, so who gives a shit? Boom, boom, boom. Let's get these lightning balls as close together as I can. Should be far enough away not to get hit by it when it goes off. Yep, there we go. Hokazolko's actually doing okay. But Satoto, I think, is just doinking him. I don't think Satoto's using any magic at all, so having her dressed as a black mage is kind of pointless. Treasure coffer. I'd kind of like to go with them, but I think they've already got healers. Usually Mello and Luca will heal. So going on raid with them, I don't know. I'd like to, but I'm in the middle of something anyway. Look, it's a Nemean Grimoire. I recognize this. It's my father's. And these. His robes? These are his robes. They're from the day he left. All of it has been so perfectly preserved. It's almost as though you were wearing them but yesterday. Oh, what's this? That looks like a black mage soul crystal. Is that his soul crystal? Oh no, that is a scholar. Okay, it's just a weird pale blue. So within slumbers the fairy that he has been with my family for generations. But I lost nearly everyone to that god-forsaken war, and the terrible disease that followed. In spite of all odds, here she is, last of my family, sitting right in the palm of my hand. I'd give anything to see her again. Well then do it. Lilac, please answer me. Go for it, be a scholar. This looks odd. That seems very Black Mage-esque. What is going on here? That's very strange to find in a white mage keep. Satoto? Satoto, what happened? Wake up! Something's wrong. She's not responding. We have to get her back to Camp Tranquil immediately. Like, it's weird that they dressed her up as a black mage when she wasn't using any black magic. It's weird that the crystal from her father, I think, looked so weird, so strange as a scholar crystal. Like, it was pale and dark, and then it's strange that it's like dark energy, all while we were in a white mage location. And the white mages were the ones that captured him.
You're a Royal Marine and an outstanding scholar besides. Surely you can diagnose what's wrong with her? No external injuries, both her breathing and pulse are stable. She appears to have slipped into a coma from which she will not wake anytime soon. She won't be waking. That can't be. Must something else happen back there. Trouble civilians in need of a helping hand, I presume. Might the wood whalers be of assistance? Hi, buddy. Well, if it isn't the adventure, what brings you to this neck of the woods? Ash, this is another of your friends, I take it? Of a sort. Friend's a bit of a stretch. Yeah, they're just doing the normal raids. And Mello and Luca are healing. I could play other classes. I have other classes that could get into the Anabaseos normal raids with high enough eye level, but I'm in the middle of my own storyline stuff, and I'd rather play it as a healer anyway, so... Since a botched invocation rendered this thing unconscious. Solution to that is simple enough. Just leave it there to rest until it wakes up. Thing, how dare you speak of Satoto in such a callous manner? And to think that you would suggest we leave this beautiful young lady out here in the open until she wakes up. You must be mad. Young lady? You're quite sure that's what she is? My apologies. I'll carry the young girl inside and see that she is given a proper place to rest. I also like that they keep going, young lady. Okay, you do know she's 1,500 years old, right? And for that, this coat of green mucus isn't contagious, is it? Green mucus? That's not green mucus, it's... never mind. No, it's not contagious. You should be fine. Thank you for your help, sir. It's greatly appreciated. At least for now we can rest easy knowing Satoto is safe. Or as safe as she can be given the circumstances. All should be in order. You've seen to it that your friend has been given a comfortable bed to rest in until she recovers. I'll return to Bronze Lake and inform Cerrito Corrido of all that has happened. Perhaps he'll be able to shed light on what is wrong with Satoto. In the meantime, I'd ask that you remain near on hand and keep an eye on her. Don't worry, it shouldn't be away too long. In fact, not at all, because you're going to be standing right here with the next quest. I love listening to them doing the raid in the background while I'm playing. Something's terribly wrong. Ever since she collapsed, Satoto hasn't so much as stirred. According to Cerrito Corrido, the sickness transforms not only the body, but also the quality of the afflicted individual's ether. As such, attempting to summon Lilac in her current state likely drained her of nearly all her vitality. A bit of rest, however, should have been enough to replenish her reserves. She should be awake by now. The fact she's not means something else is amiss. Yeah, it seemed like Lilac took a bunch of her ether and flew off with it, so part of her consciousness is probably out there too. Please go have a word with Cerrito Corrido. Scholar to scholar. Perhaps if you were to combine your wits, you might learn what's wrong. I'll remain here to look after Satoto. All the way back out to Wanderer's Palace. The last little bit hadn't been too bad on teleporting around. But this one's annoying. Although maybe I'm just thinking that because the last hour of the stream was me doing freaking deep dive on ether. Yep. You know, I should actually replace those when I'm out in the world. Thanks, Cerrito. So Sistoto still slumbers on. Normally, when scholars summon their fairies, they do so by extracting a portion of the ether circulating through their body and willing it to take shape. Well, Jesus. I could have just played the game and gotten my answer, couldn't I? Releasing that form, they can then dismiss it, and the ether will flow back into their bodies. This is what should have happened to Satoto when she fell unconscious. Can't understand why she remains asleep, unless... What if she only managed a partial summoning? There's a possibility that all of Satoto's ether fled from her body upon calling to Lilac, causing her to then fall unconscious before the fairy could fully manifest. I mean, this unbound phantom is out there somewhere, aimlessly roaming the land and preventing her from regaining consciousness. Yunoka must hurry to find and dispatch of it before it wanders too far. Maybe the only way to wake her. There and back again. A Lalafel's tail. Sorry. It's all this teleporting around for Lalafels. I didn't even think about that until I said there back again, and then I realized I was doing it for a bunch of little short dudes. Oh, you've returned. What did Cerrito Corito have to say? Partially something familiar. And as he suggests, we must hunt this thing down and destroy it. You recall how right before Satoto fell unconscious at the ruins, a purple sphere of light appeared before us. That must be the phantom fairy to which he refers. I know, and it was a lovely shade of purple. I'd love it if it could be my new fairy glam. Problem is, the moment it materialized, it vanished from Amdapor Keep. No telling where it could have gone. I like Celine. I do like Celine a lot, but she's mostly yellow with a little bit of purple, trim. A full purple fairy would be kind of cool. Two of you looking awfully somber. What's wrong? This thing by any chance resemble a floating violet orb? So you've seen it? No, but lately many of the whalers have been claiming they've encountered a specter in the forest. In fact, the reports have been so numerous in number that I've been given orders to investigate the matter. Interestingly enough, the description they've given me seems to match this phantom fairy of yours. Aye, that'll be it, alright. I'd like to immediately begin my search of this fairy specter. There are a few rather pressing matters I must attend to first. Not to worry. Ash and I will take it from here. We've already troubled you enough as is. Very well then. My men have spotted the thing along the upper paths of Snake Mold. You may want to begin by searching both those places. I wonder if it's, Okay, so they don't have a full group. They could use a tank, but I've never tanked the raids at all. Nah, focus on what I'm doing right now. Thank you. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for the young lady. It's not as though I could simply stand by and watch as a helpless girl fights for her life. You may not seem it, but somewhere in that man is a good heart. Somewhere. Deep, deep down. Now then, let's immediately begin surveying the areas Landonell mentioned. You take the upper paths and I'll go to Snake Mold. Also, I wonder if you have to re-clear the normals the way you do the savages. I wonder if now that they've finished P9S, I wouldn't even be able to join them because I'd have to re-clear 9 before I could get into 10. No, it's letting me. Looks like I can join any of them. Okay. Maybe I'll catch them around 11 or 12 and finish up this story. Although probably not. It's not going to take them that long to do each of the raids. Nothing out of the ordinary. I don't care about nothing out of the ordinary game. Just give me the quest. Objective already.
All these boring ass searches. It's like, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's no. Okay, now you found it. It's like, how about you cut out all those nothings? Because this is literally nothing, right? Like, I get developers who want to like fill content and make things a little longer and things like that, but when you fill it with literally nothing, well then what you're doing is just filler. It's literally nothing. It adds nothing to the game. Like, it adds absolutely nothing, and thus it's just pointless filler. Was that the actual Phantom Fairy? Because that, I guess that could be it, but that looked more like the Forlorn Maidens that I sometimes see in Fates. Are they screwing up? Oh, yeah. They probably could use me there as a tank because the other tank isn't part of the FC. It's just someone they picked up on the raid, and he's apparently doing it terribly.
It's about time you came, my friend. I was beginning to grow concerned one of the beasts in the forest had gotten the better of you. I myself encountered a fair few woodland creatures during my search, one of which was a purple sphere of light. Alas, it turned out to simply be a will-o'-the-wisp. By the expression on your face, I assume your investigation went no better. The seven hells did that thing fly off to? There you are. Just moments ago, one of my men was attacked by your fairy. What? According to him, it disappeared into the lost city of Amdapor. We won't be able to give chase just yet, however. Entry into the area is heavily restricted due to the darkness which permeates it. We need to receive permission from the Order of the Twin Adder. I'll go and request that right now. In the meantime, I ask that you wait here.
But I already have permission to go into the lost city of Amdapor. Did they wipe? They wiped. Oh no, not wipe. Just got her killed.
Landina, with all due respect, why is it that you're so intent on helping us? To put it bluntly, the fairy is our responsibility, not yours.
Told you before, green of skin or not, can't stand to see the young girl suffer. After all, the duty of the strong is to protect the weak. That old frickin' motto of theirs. Now, if the two of you are planning on joining me in this fight against the Fairy Phantom, I suggest you begin making preparations. Taking this thing down is going to be no easy task. Oh, is that going to be our 90? Or 70? Really? Oh, and I still have to go do the 80. I mean, I don't have to. But it would be nice to put the capper on this one and be done with Scholar, because there's no way I want to, like, slide the 80 quest into some other bit of a stream somewhere, because it's never long enough for that. So I may as well do it. Ether Pact. A skill which I have never felt I desperately needed before. But I've never done high-end raiding with a Scholar before. You're here. Excellent.
Landinel, mere moments ago, received the necessary authorization for us to enter Amdapor. He'll also be accompanying us into the Lost City. He claims that in watching over Satoto, he's developed a brotherly affection for her and wants to help. Honestly, I think he's just raring for a fight. That too. Whatever his reasons, I'm simply glad for his help. The more seasoned fighters we take, the faster we'll be able to dispatch the parasite leeching Satoto of her ether. Now, let's head to the gates, where we will be meeting Landinel.
Back into Amdapor! Yet again. This could absolutely be Amdapor hard, but instead it's just a synced instance. Oh well.
You ready? The moment Landinel joins us, we'll enter the Lost City.
Got it. Let's go. Cool. Let's go. Focus. There she is. See, if I could have a fairy that's like that kind of color, like white and purple, that'd be fucking cool. That'd be super cool. I would love to have a fairy that's that color. Throw a little blue in there too, and it'd be perfect for me. Oh, this is Amdapor hard. Like, the first one was an instance of Amdapor, and this is an instance of Amdapor hard. Hey, if you want to attack me, Light Spear, then come closer. Huzzah, now you can cast Banish on me. Good job, idiot. You walked right into my trap. Not that it matters. By the time I even lured it in, the other ones were already dead, so who cares? Can I hit him from here? No, the light sphere just has to be 1 millimeter too far out. Fuck it. Just deal with the mana idols. And ignore the stupid light sphere. Why not? My allies are completely ignoring this thing that's attacking the healer from the side, not paying any attention to it whatsoever. I may as well too. I need to wait. I don't want to wait. It's fucking boring to wait. Nope, too far out again. My allies just stand as far back as they possibly can to make it so you cannot fight both enemies at once. Fucking useless allies, man. I may as well just... Like, I may as well come in here unsynced and just run it alone. It'd be better than bringing you two morons with me. But no, it had to be a sync duty with these dumbasses. Wait, is she actually gonna possess the Kariba? She did. Huh. Interesting. I'm gonna get far away from the rest of my allies as much as I can. Because she may target me with bullshit too that I don't want. White magics have been reversed from beneficial to corrupting. Okay, I see. She's casting white magic, but it's inflicting damage instead. Yeah, she reversed it like that. Okay, I get it. All of her cures are actually gonna hurt now. Although that does answer the question that it's white magic. But it's not. Maybe it got twisted into using white magic spells because she's in a Karibu? Why are you running towards me, asshole? Magic vuln up, don't care. What the hell did I just press? Also, is this gonna work? Oh my god, Whispering Dawn actually works. Holy shit, there are a couple of things that my fairy can actually do to the party. That's thank god. Because they just stood. These dumbasses just stood in a massive cleave that had plenty of time to get out of. Like, they are aggressively trying to get hit by everything. There we go.
So do we not want to hit her with it either? Is that what's going on here? Okay, there we go. I'm wondering about that, because they have big AoEs, so we spread out from each other, that makes sense. But we're spreading out a lot from each other, so I'm wondering if we're, like, not supposed to let her get hit by that AoE either. That is a fucking cool-looking Karibu while it's possessed by this dark fairy. Is it gone? Aha, it is! We did it! It's another victory for the Royal Marines! Statues stopped moving, and the earlier dread I felt has begun to recede. Appears the Phantom Fairy is no longer... Yes, which means there's a very good chance Satoto's ether has returned to her. She'll be up soon. Let's hurry back so that she might have friendly face to wake to. Also, I love how they transformed Celine back into Eos for this cutscene. What's up? Is it gonna be the crystal? Yeah. Why is... No, that's not the crystal. That's a gemstone from the Karibu. Why did Lilac not simply return to crystal form? Ash, what in God's name are you doing? Come, we must return to Camp Tranquil post-haste. What is going on? Although I don't know if the fairy returns to crystal form at all. I swear I do remember when I picked up the Scholar Jobstone, it transformed into Eos, but I don't know if it stays that way or if I'm carrying the Jobstone around with me even when my fairy is summoned. Maybe it stays transformed. Whenever your fairy is summoned, your Jobstone, like, transforms into the fairy. I don't know. In that case, I wonder why we didn't find the Scholar Stone and why we're picking up a crystal from the Karibu. Oh yeah, they're already up to 11. Yeah, no chance. I need to finish this and do the 80 quests. Yeah, just forget it. That fight took a lot more out of me than I thought it did. Where's Satoto? And Landon, for that matter. Satoto, you're awake. Alka, what's wrong? Are you alright? Do you not remember? You attempted to summon Lilac and fell unconscious. You've been asleep this entire time. Well, at least until we defeated the fairy you called forth. I had no idea. So sorry. Never my intention to place any of you in harm's way. While I was sleeping, I had a dream. It was of my father. When the first wave of the sickness hit, person after person began taking ill. I watched as he and the other scholars rushed through the streets trying to save anyone they could. Then the sickness struck me. My skin began to turn green and my limbs began to shrink. He decided to embark upon a mission to obtain the cure, one he knew was destined to end in failure from the very start. Made his way to where all the white mages resided, the enemy nation of Amdapor. In the last-ditch attempt to save me, he infiltrated their borders. Suppose we all know how that story ends. Even if he no longer cared for me, loathed me even, for what I had become, it wouldn't matter. I just wish I could have seen him one last time. What are you talking about, Satoto? Your father would have been delighted to see the stunning young woman you've grown into. Thank you, Alka. You always know what to say. Jesus. It's known I'd never again feel my father's loving embrace. I thought that maybe, just maybe, I could have at least seen his fairy. Selfish desire to do so, however, I put everyone in danger, including Lilac. Words aren't enough to express how sorry I am. That reminds me, Satoto. Do you have any idea why Lilac was so drawn to the Lost City? You don't worry about it, friend. There's likely little rhyme or reason to the actions of a frenzied spirit. Maybe, but the way she was moving seemed deliberate. Almost as though she was trying to show us something. You have any ideas, Ash?
Well, yeah.
A gemstone? I think this is what Lilac was trying to lead us to. We should take it to Cerrito Corrito that he might examine it. He of all people will be able to comprehend its significance. I nearly forgot, Landonel. Sir, thank you for taking care of me when I was unwell. Think nothing of it. The world may be full of self-serving men and women, but don't forget that not all of us are like that. If you run into someone or something that threatens to hurt you, be sure to come and find me. Once I run them through with my lance, they should bother you no longer. Thank you, sir. I'll be sure to do that. Landonel could probably get along really well with the Tomberries. There's no thoughts in his head other than doink with that spear of his. Just doesn't want to kill things. Back to Cerrito to finish this off, and then the 80 quest. And then I may be done for the night. Probably. The 80 quests are usually they're usually close to like half an hour or so. Some of them are even longer. I think I remember running into 180 quests that took me like over an hour to complete. Although I'm pretty slow as shit when I'm streaming. Cerrito, take this gemstone. Show her that she can summon Lilac with it, hopefully. Cerrito Corrito, there's something we would like for you to examine. Ash discovered this gemstone in the lost city of Amdapor. Seemed as if to be of great import to the fairy Satoto summoned. Indeed? Dear gods, it couldn't possibly be. This gemstone, it appears to contain concentrated white magics. How did you find this? From what you described, I can only surmise that this is the guardian statue's crystal core and the source of its power. Is it possible then this is what Satoto's father sought to acquire by infiltrating Amdapor? It's very likely. Had the Nimians managed to attain and analyze one of these gemstones, we could have found the remedies to any number of diseases, possibly even that of the sickness which destroyed our lands. Just as I thought, Lilac was acting with deliberate intent. She's guided us to the lost city that we might uncover this. Normally, a fairy which has failed to fully manifest is nothing more than a sphere of turbulent etheric energy, incapable of being manipulated by its summoner. Lilac, however, is in part a remnant of her father's ether. Perhaps she retained his strong will to see that Satoto was saved. Father, thank you for everything. Huzzah! So are you gonna study the crystal and turn everyone back into boring-ass Lalafels? My selfish desire to reconnect with my father causes the two of you a great deal of distress. For that I'm terribly sorry. Satoto, there's no need to apologize. Your undying gratitude is more than enough. You, Alka, for everything. You should even now treat me like the young girl I once was. Perhaps what I've come to like about you the most. My apologies, Satoto. I didn't quite catch that. You think you could... Satoto? Are you alright? You're going red. Mayhap you need to lay down and rest. I'm perfectly fine. Although, Alka, the next time the Royal Marines are out training, would be alright if I joined you. Oh, God. Of course, you'd be a fine addition to our ranks, my lady. You're the daughter of one of Nim's very own Royal Marines, after all. God damn it. For now, this is enough. The day comes that I regain my original body, however. I pray that you will give me strength. Father, Lilac, I might one day convey my feelings to him. Oh god, Satoto. Seriously. The two of you have gone to great lengths to bring Satoto safely back to us. For that I cannot thank you enough. The gemstone that you brought back from Amdapor at Lilac's behest will no doubt pave the way for a new generation of scholars. I shall begin analyzing this gemstone straight away. I'll do whatever it takes to discover the cure, thus carry on Satoto's father's legacy. Speaking of legacies, you shaped up to be a mighty fine scholar, Ash. I cannot help but feel proud whenever I look upon you. Huzzah! Don't make me go back to Limsa. What beef it is that Satoto's back to normal. While incredibly trying, I cannot help but be glad for our little misadventure. Not only will it aid Cerrito Corrido's efforts to discover a cure, the Royal Marines have become all the stronger for it. They've even earned ourselves a new member. I know I don't say it enough, but thanks, Ash. For always being there. An excellent scholar and an even better friend. Let us leave this place. Past time we returned home to... fucking goddammit. To victory, come hells or high water. Don't. Yes! Huzzah! I didn't have to go back to Limsa. It's like, don't you dare, Alka. Bequeath all her knowledge of Ninian military tactics to you. Oh, interesting. So it's almost like her father's scholar gem, like, fused with mine or something? Huh. Go talk to Alcazolga. So I do need to go back to Limsa anyways. It doesn't really matter that much. Oh well. Keeper of the Lilacs. Not bad. I don't think I'm going to use it, but that's not bad. I could see that being a pretty good one for maybe an alt character. We'll see. Back to Alka. So that's going to be back to Limsa. Also, this is another reason, this right here is another reason why I like to do the 80 quests when I'm finishing up the 60 to 70 section, is because 80 quests are not considered required. They're not. They're considered optional, which means they don't show up on your quest log. Which doesn't make it impossible to remember that you have an 80 quest to do, but more difficult. Because you'll be like going through your achievement list someday or something and maybe realize you didn't do the 80 quest. True Beauty. Oh, it looks like she's gonna finally manage to summon one. Probably Lilac. Appears to be on the point of setting out somewhere. It is an Ash. In the flesh. It's been quite some time, hasn't it? Almost 5 seconds. Rashak keeps me apprised of any tales of your heroism that reach her ears. That's a lot. I must say that never failed to inspire me to reach for greater martial and tactical heights. Considering the tales that he's probably been told recently with my Shadowbringer stuff, then, Thus been seizing upon every opportunity to hone my skills, be it through employment or study. In fact, I have an appointment with Cerrito Corrido shortly to review mariner stratagems for securing thoroughfares and byways. Would you care to join me? Sounds infinitely fucking boring. Okay, let's go. Excellent. It'll be a pleasure to train alongside you again. Shall meet you at Camp Bronze Lake. Cerrito Corrido awaits us there. Like, I don't know that I would make a very good scholar. Because all this stuff that really should be more important to me, he's just the tank, right? It really should be more important to me, the scholar, who the class is designed as like those, I'm going to calculate all the possibilities and find the right one to save everyone's lives and heal my friends and beat the enemy and all that sort of thing, right? It's like, we're going to talk about this boring shit. Do you want to come with us and learn about it? And I'm like, that sounds like boring shit. No thanks. I guess I don't make the best tactician. Man, what a pleasant surprise. I was unaware that you would be joining us today. Though I suppose since my tank is a boring-ass tactician, I don't have to be. Heavens, is that Ashley's spell? Satoto! True pleasure to see you. Have you come for the exercises as well? Of course. It may have been well over a millennium ago that I began my studies, but I am still a student with much to learn. Though I am somewhat hampered by the small matter that is my inability to summon a fairy whilst trapped in this grotesque form. You're hardly grotesque, my lady. I'm confident that there is some way you might once again call forth a fairy. We need only find a way to tap the royal marine spirit within you. Come hells or high water.
You know, the hilarious part would be if they actually went so far as to transform these Tomberries back into Lalafels, and then on the other side she's trying to confess her feelings to him and he's like not attracted to her anymore. It would suck, it'd be pretty depressing, but it'd be fucking hilarious. In this grotesque form, he's like, "You're not grotesque," and then she becomes a Lalafell again and he's like, eh.
Let's hope you're right. Doubt not that he is. But first, given how rare this opportunity is, might I suggest that we begin by asking Ash to regale us with tales of his recent endeavors. There is much we might learn from them.
I traveled to another world. Lameth's journey. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's healer dwarves. So it's just Lalafell from another world.
Damn it, and then Gia. I'm so proud of them. They may strive to save her sister no matter what it cost her. Reminds me of my father. I can scarce believe you traveled to another world entirely. Were it anyone else, I would doubt the veracity of their words, but I can only envy you. You must have gained much insight into the nature of our own star. Concept of stone blight fascinates me. Highly contagious, transforms the body. Cannot but draw parallels between it and the Nemean plague. What were you able to discern about the magic utilized in curing it?
What the hell are they? Like they're all dying. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's P12. Makes sense. I'm just listening to all of my friends die horribly, and it's like, oh yeah, that's P12. They're all just getting eaten by the platforms. Got it.
Perhaps the application of a high concentration of ether, but how? Might crystals serve to amplify? Assuming so... It may work. Similarities of Stoneblight to our own affliction, this may well be the key to a cure for the Nemean plague. You mean to say that my body and my ability to cast healing magic could be restored? Precisely. It'll be a complex process involving trial and error, of course, but I assume you're interested nevertheless. Very good. Your assistance will hasten the process considerably. Satoto, I would have your aid in preparing the experimental compound. It will require instruments that allow for a high degree of precision. Alka, you must consult an expert goldsmith to procure suitable supplies. I believe we might make use of revival root as well. Though I know of no better source of it than the aged treants of Snakemold. It will be something of a walk, I realize, but can I entrust this task to you? A challenge befitting the Royal Marines, and to it we shall rise.
Come hells or high water. Till sea swallows all. I mean, hells or high water. I mean, whatever. I think Korima will be better. Between the two, it doesn't really matter that much, but... Sorry, I was just looking over at Luco's stream again, and that is a pretty much perfect name for someone who's a Dark Knight wearing, like, artifact Dark Knight armor. His name is Freykun. It's like, really? Oh, she got the minion. Lucky. I need to go run some more 12 and get the minion too. Do I have it? I was running 12 the other day for it. I don't think I got it, though. I don't believe I ended up getting it. I think I ran it like 4 or 5 times and then just gave up because I was bored. But maybe I did. Probably be in here with all the people. I got Eric. I don't think I got her, though. Or was Eric the one I got from... No, I think he came from an earlier one. Like P4. Or did he? I don't remember. I don't remember if Athena is only from the Savage or if that's from the original. I think it's from the original. From the normal ones. I'm not even gonna bother with a dot. Oh, he's actually stronger than I thought he was. Ah, hey Baron. Is he seriously? Oh, he's a level 80, that's why. You stop with the fucking AoEs, asshole. You're being annoying now. Forcing me to run all over the place rather than just beat you to death with a book. Alright, let's go back. Hello again, Baron. Almost finished. Just got the 80 quests left to finish here. And then I will be done. Only AoEs from now on. Like, I know you're super strong and I'm barely a threat, but from now on I'm going to force you to run around constantly and drop your hard casts and all that. It's just annoying. I suppose I could run the normals. Like I said, I could use it to kind of like gear up alts, but I could just craft the crafted set if I really want to gear up an alt. Flight of the Magic Caster. Dropping hard casts, yep. Thank you. I expect this will be sufficiently potent. Now we only need wait Alkazolka's return and... Why I play Fire Mage in WoW, because they are a mobile caster. Alka, you good? Apologies, I've only just escaped. I am acquainted with a goldsmith of some repute, and he agreed to fashion the instrument in return for my massaging him with salamander oil. Again. Thanks, Godbert. However, the goods themselves should be more than adequate. I'll say that's a goldsmith of some repute. Godbert, why are you making the tiny little man who looks like a child massage you with oil? What is wrong with you? Ah, they're a bit oily, but presumably that will come off. They're a bit oily. Stop getting people to massage you. In which case, we can prepare the compound at any time. However, the matter of what follows is problematic, especially Lalabelle. Yes, exactly. Freaking Godbert, man. Problematic? In what sense? Though I am fairly confident in my theory, the experimental compound is just that. Experimental. I did state before that this process would involve trial and error. Oh no, Satoto's gonna die horribly on the first trial. This Nemean plague does not affect beasts. To test it on any but a tomberry is impossible. Yet as its ingestion will result in disruption to the body's ethereal balance, there is a possibility that the subject may find himself worse off than before. Make him feel my scholars is coming out in the nerd-ass voice you're giving him. Yeah, well. I have no intention of inflicting such a fate on any of my brethren, naturally. So, should I be warped beyond recognition as a result, the task of destroying me will fall to you. What the hell was the Throgmorton? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I saw all that shit pop up and I'm like, what is... Wait, that's a cat. Gotta be a cat. I don't honestly believe we would agree to that. I will.
I'm not gonna let him hurt anyone, and if we don't conduct these experiments, then there's nothing to do. What if you were to test it on me instead? Absolutely not. You heard what he said. The test subject might very well become a monster. I'm prepared to take that risk. Well, I'm not prepared to let you. So you would rather Cerrito Corrido do it? If the test does fail and he becomes some sort of abomination, who would remain to continue researching the cure? Follows that I ought to be the subject. What? What was that? Whatever. I'm supposed to accept that? It's not your choice to make. Please calm yourselves. The admixture will take some time to prepare. In any case, we could discuss this later, when we have all had the opportunity to think. Besides, it's not my fault scholars are all fucking nerds. Fine, I'll do my thinking elsewhere if it's all the same to you. I understand, I'm merely trying to prevent her from placing herself in harm's way. So a little concerned still about a random quest in Ul'dah where a grown-ass hero is crushing on the guildmaster who's a Lalafell. Yeah. Yeah. Like, the game constantly tries to remind you they're totally adults. They're just of a different race that tends to be small. And every player in the game is like, no, I don't believe you. They're fucking little kids. And crushing on them or trying to flirt with them or try to, like, interrace breed with them and all that stuff comes off as creepy pedo stuff. I believe you two would be well served by a reprieve. Perhaps a bit of exercise. This camera's working great for me so far. I will admit the other one did not become horribly broken until, you know, a few months of using it, so I need to let this one run its paces. Basically, the day after the warranty on this camera wears off, it'll probably break. If you insist. I will say he seems a little slow. I wonder if that's processing power or the fact that the camera is only 30 FPS, maybe? No. This would be a far sight easier if they were honest with one another. As you doubtless are aware, Satoto is quite enamored of Akazoka. She seems disinclined to pursue the matter, however, her current condition being what it is. As she raised a salient point, I would not have her volunteer if her primary goal is to remove that perceived obstacle. For Akazoka to be forced to slay her only to later learn what it was all for, it doesn't bear thinking about. Baron? Still trying to fucking give me PTSD, Baron? Thanks. You go and speak with her. Expect that she is fuming somewhere in outer Lenosha. She has a tendency to wander when she's distressed. Great. Now I have to go play matchmaker for a couple little kids. Oh wait, outer Lenosha. Seriously, why do I have to play matchmaker for a couple of 10-year-olds? That's just creepy. This way. Boom, 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 boom. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, this is gonna take just about the right amount of time for my stream. apologize for my earlier conduct. No intention of changing my mind, though. My logic is sound.
I don't care. Why do I have to play Lovemaker here? Like, I don't care. I can't be bothered to care about Sasotto and Alcazolka.
Are they? Oh, I see. Since it's come to this, yes, I'm in love with Alcazolka. Maybe were things different, I could be content with that. If we might walk hand in hand without drawing the attention of every would-be hero within 10 moms, my compatriots were just as free to pursue their own happiness. As it is, however, his insistence upon protecting me above all else, it chafes. I'm no fool. I know that others, Alcazolka included, are stronger than I. I'm not so proud as to refuse aid on principle. It's not enough to merely live, insulated from harm. I've always wanted to help people. Now more than ever, knowing firsthand the terrible toll this blight takes on all of us. Not simply my own desires that make me so adamant. Truthfully, there's no more suitable subject on whom the cure might be tested. I'd not yet seen 20 summers when I was afflicted, so if it has unanticipated effects, my body will be best able to bear them. Moreover, I was one of the last to fall to the plague before we entered our lengthy slumber. Meaning my illness is less advanced. This potential cure shows results that will be present in me most quickly. Say the thought that it could fail does not frighten me would be a lie. If there's any means by which I might save my people from suffering, I can't ignore it. Follow the path of the scholar, you understand, don't you?
Both utterly, completely useless to put that decision in there, because they're both exactly the same thing.
Thank you. Talking this through with you has helped to clear my head, I believe. I'm ready to speak with the others.
Here is the illusion of choice, yeah. Like, I'll grant you they're all illusory choices. They don't give you any choices that actually matter in the game. But oftentimes they'll at least give you two that are fairly different and might lead to slightly different dialogue that leads to the same end point. So that's always a little fun. But when they give you two that are like literally just both, yes, I understand, and yes, I think I know how you feel, it's like, this is worthless. This is worthless to me. Why'd you even put it in?
Ah, you have returned. How are you feeling? More confident than ever. You must test the cure on me. Alka, please. I'm not making this decision in haste, nor do I take it lightly. Truth be told, I'm terrified. But I need to do this. Ash agreed. It must be me.
Your options are yes and definitely. Yup.
Yes, I must admit, your reasoning is sound. Appreciate that you worry for me, Alka. It means more than you know. But this is my duty. My battle to fight. You can trust me to meet this foe with all I have. I vow not to quit the field until the bitter end. When the time comes when I'm no longer myself, I need to know that my fate is in good hands. In your hands.
I mean, I'll do it. If Alka can't bring himself to, I'll face her alone.
As you wish. I'll be at your side as any true mariner would. But know that I fully expect you to seize victory, come hells or high water. I will. Thank you, Alka. Very well. If both of you are resolved, I will abide by Satoto's decision. Before we begin, I must explain how the process is meant to work. First, Satoto will drink the compound I devised. It should destabilize the ethereal composition of her body. When she has done so, Alcazolka, you must stand at the ready with this. The gemstone received from Amdapor. It shall serve as a focus.
Yeah, but Alcazolka doesn't have any idea how to channel healing energies. Like, if anyone should be using the crystal, it's probably me, who knows how to channel healing energies and solve them cure the stone sickness on the first. Not Alcazolka, who has no fucking clue what he's doing and swing his axe. Big axe go burr. You know what I mean? I know he's smart and all, but he's a marauder, dude. Casually switches job to leather worker after doing the deed. What? She won't need it. Jesus Christ, I could too. I'm a 90 leather worker. I wonder what Tomberry's skin is worth. Ash and Lily will channel their restorative magic through the focus. Okay, so he's just holding it, amplifying it. In theory, being exposed to a sufficient volume of curative ether will encourage Satoto's own ether to attune to it and set itself to rights. Okay, so Alcazolco's basically a pedestal. Like, that's what he's accomplishing in this mission. He's a pedestal. Hi, Lily, Eos, Celine, whatever the fuck anyone's gonna call you in the next cutscene. Like, I don't understand why they bothered to give the fairy its own name, Eos, when it is his fairy and he constantly refers to her as Lily. If all are clear on what must be done, let us commence. Or why they didn't just call the skill Summon Fairy. It burns. Ash, Lily, now. Huzzah! Fight it, Satoto! Summon Mistress Ovaltine Montegru Celine the Third wouldn't fit in the tooltip. Ovaltine Montegru Celine the Third. She actually went Lala. From the picture that was in it, I thought that maybe it wouldn't work to transform her out of Tomberry, but might give her a bigger, like, reserve of ether so that she could use the fairy now. But hey, there she goes. And now Alka thinks she's hideous. She's disgusting! Oh my god, I don't want to date her! Sorry, I couldn't help it. Like, that would suck for storyline, so I know they're not gonna do it, but that would be like the most hilarious thing of all of this to me, that he's attracted to the Tomberry and disgusted by her Lalafell form. Truly radiant, Toto, inside and out. Huzzah. That's not exactly the sort of thing we can do to all of them all at once, though. That's going to be a long, involved process. Plus, what happened to the crystal, Alka? She got what my friend affectionately calls the butt sniffer customization. Oh, you mean that fucking, like, puppy dog nose nonsense that they can do on the Lalafells? Yeah, that thing's horrible. Think after all this time, the endless research, we have a cure for the Nimian plague. Cerrito Carito even managed to devise such a thing is remarkable enough, but to see it succeed. Great. Now there's going to be a shit ton of Lalafell refugees with nowhere to call home. Congratulations. Without Ash's skill as a scholar, it never would have been possible. And Toto, your kindness, your conviction, your strength of spirit inspires me to train with even greater fervor. And off he goes. He doesn't even get a chance to confess to him. That's so like him. He's still utterly oblivious to my feelings, I'm sure. It's alright, though. Never truly expected to have another chance at life I once envisioned for myself. Kobolds are going to love this. Yeah. Now that I do, I intend to enjoy it. There's no need to rush through all the best parts. It goes for my vocation as well. I intend to relearn the scholarly arts.
Starting from the basics, with my etheric balance restored, I should be able to summon Lilac properly. Someday we will be the salvation of those in need, I swear it. For the moment, however, I have much training to do if I am to be fit for the Royal Marines. To that end, I am off to find Alka. Boom, boom, boom. We'll be done with this now, Cerrito. Having labored for so long and so fruitlessly, and then to see the cure realized at last, I find myself at a loss for words. I will need to monitor Satoto's condition for a time, of course, lest there be adverse effects that were not readily apparent. But this is progress, astounding progress, toward the day when we might see all Tomberries restored to their former selves. In the meantime, experienced in matters of the heart though they are, you needn't worry over much for those two. I have confidence they'll sort themselves out in due time. Very well. In whatever worlds your travels lead you to, and thank you. They're gonna lead me to Ultima Thule. I don't even know what kind of world that is. Like, I don't even know how to describe what world that is. Flying Colors 4! Huzzah. 2 titles. Knower of Twin Worlds. It's pretty boring. I don't really care for that one that much. But I finally got... Ether Pack, there it is. There's where I put it. Depression manifested as a space-based acid trip. That's a pretty good one, actually. Depression manifested as a space-based acid trip. Honestly, Ultima Thule didn't even exist originally. Like, when we first landed there, Ultima Thule, as far as I think the story was trying to say, didn't exist. There was nothing there. It was just a bunch of Akasha in space. There was nothing there, right? I think Thancred is the only reason anything existed there at all. When Thancred made that first, like, final wish, I think he created the actual land masses that we were walking around on. And then each Scion created more. So Ultima Thule was just space, I think, before we got there. And, like, nothing else. All of the actual physical stuff you can interact with on Ultima Thule, I think we created the areas, at least. The other cultures populated it, the dead cultures like the dragons and the Ea and stuff. Okay, one last thing. Don't care about any of this. None of it's worth anything. What does the Orator's set even look like? I'm not going to wear it, but what's it look like? It's not terrible. I mean, for a scholar. For a scholar, that's not terrible. It looks like pretty much any other scholar set. But honestly, I think I like the 89 set better. Which is, that's what I was wearing this whole quest, was the 89 scholar set. I don't care about the college graduation cap or anything, so I took that off. But the rest of this is pretty good for a scholar. Fitting for a scholar. I mean, it is a scholar's artifact set after all. But none of this can be decent, so I'm just going to discard all of it. But hey, now I have access to it. I can go back to the Calamity Salvager or whatever and buy it if I desperately need any piece of it for anything. Discard. There we go. And that is that, and we are just over 3 hours. So there we go. That is Scholar done. I might want to do something special for Thursday. I don't know. Maybe another game. If not, if I come back to Final Fantasy XIV, odds are I'll be doing the same thing with White Mage on Thursday. Because both of them are 90. Both of them I might maybe want to run high-end content with. White Mage more than Scholar. Because I love Sage, so I don't think I'm ever going to flex to Scholar. But I do occasionally flex to Regen Healer if groups want me to.
usually to Astro, but maybe I'll check out White Mage once in a while too. So I do definitely need to finish off the White Mage quests as well. That probably is what I'll end up doing on Thursday. I've been looking at like some of the games that I have installed or some of the games that I don't have installed, but I do have access to on my computer, and seeing if I want to maybe get into starting one of those. But there's a few I kind of want to finish things off in before getting started on any real new ones. One of those being 7 Remake, which is not going to be finished off quick. I need to go through a full hard mode playthrough, and then I need to go through the DLC, the Yuffie DLC, a couple of times too. So that's going to be a ton more streams. Probably a good like 5, 6, 7, 8 more streams. Who knows? So I probably will be getting back to that, but I don't think that's till next week. My thumb is good. My thumb is like 90%. Like, my thumb is not really a problem anymore, but if I move it in very specific ways, I can still feel pain, and I'd kind of rather not go back to controller until I'm, like, 100% on it. Just to not, like, pop it or twist it in any weird way and just fuck it up again. So that'll probably be next week that I get back into 7R. For this week, who knows? Like I said, the statics are still up in the air, so I don't know what I'm doing this weekend or which day. I definitely will have a stream Thursday, and like I said, that'll probably be the White Mage going through basically the same thing that I just did with Scholar. It'll be White Mage going through like 60 to 80 quest line. Let me hop over to Twitch. Luco is still streaming. I could send us there, but let's see who else is going to, because I don't know how much longer Luco's going to go. Bryce is... Honkai Star Rails, Biz, Cap Tomes, Wondrous Tales, Mentor Roulettes, blah blah blah. Reclears. Oh god, Rosie's gonna do more Demonologist tonight. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe so. It's getting a little late. At night. Rosie's just sort of starting out. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's go ahead. And we'll head over to Rosie's stream today. Let me grab the... No, that was wrong. Damn it, come on. This. And drop it there. That's where we're going. If anyone gets left behind by Twitch, which still I believe happens, that's where we're headed. We'll go say hi to Rosie and watch some Demonologist, which is another, you know, ghost hunter game. Rosie and Sev like to play those games quite a lot, honestly. And like I said, I will be back Thursday around the same time, about 1 p.m. Pacific time. And I will probably be running through the last White Mage quests in 14. Unless I find something else I desperately want to show off that day. Alright, I will see you guys then. Later. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys.